Hello, everybody, and welcome to Quality Sewing and Vacuum Sew Fun Live for the month of July. This is class number 30. Can you believe that? Pam and Lillian have been out to 29 other classes this month. In case you didn't know, we have live classes that you can attend all over the Seattle area. We'd love for you to attend in person if you can. There's food, there's fun, there's friends, there's education and prizes. So don't forget as well to leave a comment down below because we'd love to hear from you. And today, any of the products that we are showcasing are 20% off. And if you come in the store and become a Sew Fun member, you can also get 20% off the fabric too. Also, we are also discounting the membership for the rest of the year, so you can get a discounted price. So even more of a reason to come and be a part of Sew Fun. Anyways, Lily wasn't able to make it today, so I'm going to step in for her. Yay! And this is Pam Tuggle.
Good morning.
And today, me, Andrea, and Pam are going to be doing the presentation. And we hope you have a ton of fun with us. We're going to have Pam start us off over here at this table.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. First thing we're going to talk about is this wonderful leather purse strap with hardware that we brought in. It's absolutely stunning. It's a very good quality leather. It comes in the ivory or the black. And one of the coolest things is that actually it's sewn on by hand, so you can use different decorative threads, or you can just kind of use your imagination as how you want to put that on. I am going to show you what we use them for. Right over here, we use it for the rail fence bag, and Lily and I each made one. I'll show you mine first. I love the hardware on this bag. And then, of course, if you can get a close-up of the hand stitching, I did one stitch and then a double stitch, but I did double threads all the way through. So if you know what I mean by that. So it's very stable. I love how the handle is a nice short handle, which is really, and with a wide shoulder strap. I used, on my bag, I used Craftex and cork. I also used a leg of my husband's jeans. So, and no, it's not the ones he was wearing. And then I also used the jeans to put the binding on. I want to show you Lily's. I put mine on point. My design is on point. Lily decided to do her straight. With this pattern, you have a bag body pattern, so you can do this any way you want. You don't have to even do the stratas or the little squares. You could just do a solid piece, embroider on it or whatever you want to. Lily also used Craftex on the bottom, which Craftex makes a really great stable purse bottom. And then she put the little feet on, which come with they're also available from the by hand. And I just dropped that. There's also a magnetic closure that I just dropped under the table. Anyway, so Lily put piping around hers, and she used clothesline to wrap her fabric around to make her piping. And she also added some of the mesh to make pockets. So it's a really fun pattern to make. It's really quick and easy to make this bag in a day. If you haven't heard of Craftex, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it later. It's actually a paper fabric, so it's very sturdy. The more you wash it, the softer it gets. It's wonderful for making cards, for bag bottoms, and for embroidery. It makes great cards, and I use mine for my purse. So it's kind of, you can do almost anything with it. If you know, the patch on the back of a Levi's jeans is actually not leather, it is Craftex. So, and if you've ever tried to pull one of those off, you cannot. So it's very sturdy, very stable.
Pam, did you want to talk about this too?
Lily made this, and this is out of the book that we're going to show you a little bit later. But this is the blue and the white Craftex that we brought in. I love the blue because it looks like denim. I absolutely love the white because it's very elegant looking, and it's something I could see using for making cards or a whole bunch of different, different items. But so this is actually an envelope that Lily made to put cookies in for a cookie exchange. So I thought that was really awesome. So it's very sturdy. You can put a plate in there. She has an 8x8 foil pan. So this is something, again, that was in the book that we'll be showing you a little bit later. So that was fun to make. I also wanted to talk to you about something else. I'm going to give this back to Andrea. But the next thing on our list is that we brought in the Creative Grids ruler. This is how many people use the Creative Grids rulers. They are wonderful. Not only that, they come with really great instructions. Most rulers do not. And if you go to YouTube, you have a lot of videos. This particular ruler is called the Spiderweb ruler, and it is used for a lot of different applications. Specifically, it's used for the crazy Christmas tree pattern that we brought in and made. So they're table runners. They're a lot of fun. I will show you a couple that we have. And then I'll show you how to make that. So this is one that Lily made, if you can get a close-up of that one. I love her background fabrics. She actually used a lot of white and silver, so it gave it a lot of dimension. She actually used 5 Christmas trees instead of 4, so hers came out much bigger, and she did put a border around hers to make it wider. And then she has the binding. They're just really fun to make. This is the one that I made, and I didn't want to do a white border because it was too much white. I wish I would have done a little bit more a colorful fabric or a better, like the silvers or the golds. But anyway, so I added this border to it just to give it a little bit of pizzazz. But let me show you how you make that. What we do is you have layer cakes. So you have whatever colors you want, coordinating colors, whatever. You have 8 of your own layer cakes. You set them in 2 sections of 4. And then you cut out some white or your background color, so whatever ones you want. It doesn't matter. It could be white on white, or white on silver, white on gold, whatever you want. And they're 11.5 by 11.5. With the layer cakes, you actually will set the ruler on top of the layer cake at the 10-inch mark, and it will end up right at where the little black mark is at the top of the ruler, and you slice it off, which will give you 8 of these. Can you see that? Okay, so then what you want to do is you take your ruler again and you lay it down on the 11.5 by 11.5 at full size, and you, whoops, not quite full size. There we go, at the 10-inch mark again. And what happens is you slice it up again, but you get a left and a right. A left and a right. Like that. So you put all of those together and you end up with 8 of the Christmas trees. You have 4 A's and 4 B's. What's really fun, this is the fun part. You take your ruler, you put it back on here. There's actual measurements on the pattern that you mark on your Christmas tree. And I'm going to put this down so you can see it a little better. If you see the lines on there, the measurements are different for each set of 4. You slice it up, and then you've got B4321 and you've got A4321. And the fun part is now putting them together. You'll take the top one off of A and put it on the bottom, and then take that one off. Then you take the top one of B and you put those together, and so on and so forth to get your wonky Christmas tree. So again, it's a very, very fun pattern. Creative Grids has a video, but also YouTube has a bunch of videos on how to make that. The Cut Loose Press has one, and it doesn't even, they're not talking, it's just music in the background, so it's very easy for them to explain to you. I also used, in mine, I use this new item that we have. It's a Pellon Flex Foam 2-sided fusible. But what makes it different than the others that we've had in the past, it's actually designed for table runners. So this is 20 inches by 60 inches. So when I'm done, I have a little tiny bit of waste, almost nothing. In fact, this was the waste that I had when I laid out my table runner on it. So that was wonderful. And what's really a plus about that is I'm not dealing with a large quantity of foam on my cutting table. I'm just setting my table runner on top of the foam, I'm ironing it on, and I'm done, because it was exactly 20 inches and I didn't have to adjust or cut the top off. So this is fantastic. So, and that, we have a list online, right? They have a list. We have a list online, and this is on your list. And next, Andrea is going to talk about some clothesline.
Awesome. Okay, come on over here with me. Lily had a lot of fun with the next project. It is called mixing bowls, and she used some clothesline. It is not that hard to do because these are the instructions, front and back. It's only a sheet. This is on the list of products as well. This is a nice inexpensive pattern to get you making these really fun bowls. But let's take a closer look at them in person down here. Right down here. So this is the clothesline that we brought in right here. It's 100% cotton clothesline from the Gypsy Quilter. This was Lily's first attempt at her bowl, and she said, "Oh, I learned so much. This will be a fun one to like put in her bathroom or something with some fun shells and things." And so she moved on to some next ones. You can see as she went along, she got better and better with all those stitches. And the whole concept is you start in the very middle. Oh, sorry, nearly there. In the very middle, down here, flat. And then as you sew, you curve it in and curve it in and curve it in. And it's a zigzag. Okay, and how you cover your clothesline is you cut out strips and strips and strips of the fabric, and you start with a little bit of glue. You glue a little bit on one end, and you just wrap it and wrap it and wrap it. She said she used a lot of glue sticks to do this. I know we have some great glue sticks here in your local store, but look at this cute little accent that she put right there with this bowl. Look, this is bowl number 3 for her. It turned out really, really cool. And then bowl number 4. And she thought, it's a mixing bowl, so you're supposed to be able to put things in it, right? You can see how it's a little bit shiny. She actually put 2 coats of Odie coat inside of it. So now the bowl is waterproof. Look at all of her beautiful colors that she did with that. Simple, fun. She used up a bunch of her scraps that were just hanging out there. So these are the mixing bowls. And once again, this clothesline we brought it in because it was not only used for the mixing bowls, but Lily also used it for the piping in her bag. So that is the clothesline and mixing bowls. Am I also talking about the book now?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to go on to the book. Over here, Lily had a blast with this. And if you could have seen her presentation in person, it was so much fun. Okay, the Sew Very Easy Patternless Sewing Book is full of books to use with fat quarters, scraps, just things that you've got around your house. So I'm going to show you some of the fun projects that Lily did. So we'll start over here with her little bags. You can see how she's got these cute little bags here, and it just tells you kind of a basic dimension in there, but you can adjust it to fit your own needs. So Lily does a lot of canning around her house, and you can see today she's made these cute little bags out of Christmas colors and fabrics because she is going to be giving them out as gifts. Isn't that cute? If you're not a canner, you can just put some cookies, or in this case, she put little Christmas candies in there to fit right in there. But you can see that this was a half-quart jar, and this is a full quart. Here, this is a pint, where it looks like she may have some jam in there. Let's see. Oh, look! It's got some candies in there. That's a little pint jar. And she does, look at these little ones that she made. She kind of went off grid and decided she was going to make smaller ones. These are the 1/2 pint jars as well. She dries herbs and spices, and she got some little empty jars. And so, oh, I guess these are little ball ones. And so she was able to put 2 of her little herb containers in there. But can you see these really nice drawstring? In the instructions, she said that originally they said to use ribbon. Would you like to see her first experiment, we should call it, with using some ribbon? It is over here with this little bag. This was a cute little fat quarter bag, which is really adorable, but look at the ribbon that they wanted her to use. It wasn't so successful. So we decided that we would bring in this clover set. It's a bias tape maker, but it also adds on the fusible webbing at the same time. It is so awesome. She really had so much fun. Pam, do you remember how many yards she made?
Oh, I don't, but she made yards and yards and yards.
She made, I want to say, around 20 or 30 yards of this bias tape. And she's not referring to it as bias tape because she used it as ribbon. So from now on, we're going to call it ribbon, even though it's made with the bias tape maker, because you can see in all these situations, she used the bias tape maker for ribbon. This is an envelope right here that uses the 10-inch square. No, this is not a 10-inch square. I sort of know what I'm talking about for Lily. It takes this cute block of fabric right here. Look, that's all it is. And then you can nicely put in your gift inside of here. I'm going to set this aside. You just thread it into the little grommets that you add in there and give it a tie. But would you like to see what is inside of that one that she made out of the craft text paper? She made more of her ribbon, her bias tape ribbon. So you just kind of put it in there. I thought this was so clever. Instead of candies and things, she made a gift for a friend. Look, she put the Harmony Pack ribbons in there, not ribbons, threads, and some little towels that made it look like candies inside. And she used the little disposable thing for that. Anyways, you can put anything you want inside of these. But what a great idea to use that craft text fabric.
But I want to add to this, if you don't mind. So
sure, go ahead.
Here's the original size that's in the book. So as you can see, Lily kind of embellished on that a little bit. Okay. But that's fine. But what I really picture, if you have an embroidery machine, how fun, because this is called an envelope, how fun would it be to write from and to, just like an address label on an envelope? Oh, that would be super cute. If you don't have an embroidery machine, and you know a little calligraphy, or you have some really beautiful handwriting, a nice gold or silver pen would be also beautiful to put an address or a to and from on here. So I love this fabric here. It's beautiful. But I just wanted to add that as something you could do with these. So make it a true envelope.
So like we said, she had such a blast. So this is in the So Fun book. These little bags are in the So Fun book. Let's talk about this little pincushion. This is called the Cathedral Window Pincushion. And this was the original one that she made. And she just put regular stuffing inside. And you can see how unstable it is. And she said, Andrea, I think we need something a little more stable to put inside of there. So she asked if we could bring in the poly pellets right here. And so I did. And she put inside the poly pellets. And now you can see how stable the little pincushion is. And I actually like the size of this pincushion. And I like how it has these little flaps on the edge, because this would be excellent for putting your little clips, your sewing clips, all along the edge. You could dedicate one side for just pins, but also clips along those, all along these edges. I never really know what to do with mine. That would be an excellent way to keep those in one space. Anyways, so these poly pellets are actually really cool. You can make weighted blankets out of these. They're in the bottoms of stuffed animals, your pin cushions. And I know that Pam, we're going to scroll over here for just a second. Follow me. This is also in the So Very Easy Patternless book. This, I'll take it off, is actually a little It goes on the arm of your chair right here. Pam was able to, she used some lavender and poly pellets in here. And this is where you can stick your needles right here. But what I thought was really cool is that she has her scissors and they're attached to the ribbon so she won't lose them. And this was very clever. You use a straw and you turn it sideways and you can take your thread off. And then you put it back in there. Just like that. Ta-da! Isn't that brilliant? What a great idea. And it has pockets to store your things on that side. And on this side, you can hold whatever you want, remotes, directions, or your secret stash of chocolate, right? Okay, another way to use up those poly pellets right there. Oh, I'm going to hand that over to Pam.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to talk about a few more things out of this really patternless, easy, so very easy patternless book. These are also some more bags. I think Lily made 30 bags.
She did.
She made 30 bags because she just loved this book so much, and she's got her Christmas stash totally taken care of already. We're all jealous, right? Here, she used up some extra. She had some extra strips of little pieces of quilting that she already had. She just used it up, add some more strips to it, and made a cute little gift bag. And here's some other sizes of gift bags here. I know we talked about these already, but I wanted to talk about this bigger one right here. This has she tacked it, the two different sides that crisscross in the front here. And I thought it would be so great because you can put the gift inside here, put the envelope on the outside right there. What a great idea. And what a beautiful use of those different colors inside this really fun bag pattern. Okay, there's another one. Pam made me try it on. But so one thing that Lily loves to do, she works in her garden and she also dyes her hair. So apparently outside, when you're outside in the sunshine, it fades your dye. It makes it turn all yucky and brassy and everything. So inside of here, there was a scrub cap. But she thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be great. She made it out of this mermaid shiny fabric. So I will model it for you. It's going to be great. It might match my glasses. So you put it on like this, and you fold it up, and you can tie your hair behind you like so. Very nice, right? But it covers up her hair so it doesn't get faded in the sunshine. I think that this would be really great if I was cooking or things too, which would be really great. Apparently, she has some crows that live in her big pine trees around her house, and she has to flip it to the non-fancy side when she goes out there because it freaks out the crows in her yard. It's the fancy mermaid fabric, right? Okay, we're gonna set that aside. Pam made some more really cute items in here. Look at these. It looks like she had a ton of fun. These are tissue holders. There's two different types of tissue holders that she made. There's these two, and you can see she boxed the corners so the little bag of tissues fit in there really nicely. And then this design just has it cut, just not cut, but sewn straight across the top. So you've got the corners right there. And each one of them has like a tiny little D-ring that you can attach onto a purse or a bag or anywhere that you need some Kleenex, right? We need to have those with us. But look at how sweet. She fussy cut it so the little snowman was right there. And then you have access to your Kleenex right like that. Those would be such cute little gifts to give. I know when I have to give out a bunch of little gifts to like 10, 15 girlfriends all at one time, I know that some specialized little Kleenexes are really fun, and putting them in a little container like this would be even more fun. And did you use up a bunch of your scraps to make these?
I did. That was all scraps.
All scraps. All scraps. I love using up scraps. So this is what Pam did with the other pant leg. Her husband's
No, he's not
Pam.
walking around in Daisy Dukes.
Yeah. That's what we all want our husbands to look like, right? Okay, anyway, so if you can see right along the edge here, she just added the fabric right up to the edge of the original pant hemline right there. So you're able to keep that, and it's all lined inside. And it just holds up all by itself, which is really awesome. And I think Pam said you want to use this as your scrap bag, your little, your portable little scrap. So when you have scraps, you can just throw it in there. But honestly, you can really use this for anything because it holds up on itself. Okay. I'm going to move these aside so you can see this just a little bit better. I wanted to go back to this the bias tape maker that Lily talked about as her ribbon maker. Okay, so I've got my spool of tape, which is fusible tape right here, and it's paper backed on one side. So we have our 1-inch piece of fabric right here, and we've pulled it through. And you can see on the back here, it's got this little open window right there. You can take a stiletto or a little pair of scissors or whatever will fit underneath there, and you can push it through. But if you notice at the very top, can you see how it's a point? We cut it at a point so it would go through the bias tape maker even easier. Okay, so all we have done here is pulled it through like this, and you can see how it naturally wants to fold by itself. So cool. But not only that, you can get started and ironing it right there, but you put the tape right on it like that, and you just pull and iron and pull and iron. Isn't that a beautiful thing? It is so awesome. I love that you can make this all in one. So you can make this fusible. And if you'll look right over here on the edge of this beautiful tablecloth, that is exactly what Lily did all along this beautiful tablecloth. Is she made the bias tape with the fusible at the same time. So
don't forget the frames.
And this frame up here, you can see she also did the same up here. She used the craft text on the back, which is amazing to embroider with. Oh, sorry. So you can see the glare. Thank you, Carrie. And she fused the ribbon all along the edge of there. And Pam will show you the next one. She's going to talk about this actual design here in just a moment. And she'll show you the other beautiful picture that Lily made with the tape. And now I'll turn the time back over to Pam.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So I actually want to back up just a little bit because I did forget to talk about something. On the actual leather handles that we have, they're pre-punched, which makes it very easy to actually attach it by hand to anything you're making. But also, to make it even easier, I don't know if any of you have experienced this. I don't have long nails now, but I used to. So wearing a thimble is very difficult. So there is a thimble out now that actually accommodates your fingernails. So if you have, short to really long fingernails, it comes in a 2-pack, and there's one for your finger and for your thumb, which again will help you to then stitch these leather handles and feet onto your bag. So I'm sorry I missed that. I wanted to bring that up real quick. But moving on, I want to bring up the fact that we brought in some beautiful blue Wonderfill thread, and we brought in the coordinating blue bobbins in class L or class 15. If you don't know which your machine takes, there is a way to look that up or just ask us. Most Brother machines, newer ones, take a class 15, and class L's haven't been used for a long time, but there are a lot of machines out there that still use it. If you're not absolutely sure, class L's are close to a 3/8 inch. Class 15 are close to a 1/2 inch. So you can kind of figure it out that way too. But why did we bring in these beautiful blues? Well, we brought in a bird brain design called Snow Much Fun. And it really was Snow Much Fun. to make. And again, it's just blue work, easy to make. If you don't have an embroidery machine, I'm going to throw this out there real quick. This company does have a website, and you can get the pattern for hand embroidery also. But these are for 5x7 or smaller. So what did we do with that? Oh, we did a lot of things. First of all, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to point out this beautiful tablecloth that Lily made. Again, with Lily, she's just wonderful. I just love her. She actually has gone above and beyond, but a lot of her designs have been double stitched. So some of them that are really bold looking, yes, she used the darker thread, but she also stitched them twice. So that gives them a really nice, bold look. She, of course, with these, she went back and she filled in with her marker some of the open spaces, which really gave it a lot of depth. And doesn't this look like a professionally framed photo? If you look at it from a distance, it looks like a cut mat. It's beautiful. I love it. Anyway, so then I'm going to come over here again. She made this one, and she stitched on craft text for that one, but she used craft text for the background on this one, as well as ribbon. So, and she filled in some of the open spaces with the blue marker. So those are beautiful. I think it's just fun. I made some kitchen towels. They are so they're so much fun, and I have a story to go with this one. I always have a story to go with this. Anyway, so this is the first one I did. Cute. Got done, ripped off the tearaway. It was beautiful. Then I'm also, you know, one thing wonderful about having an embroidery machine, you can do other things while it's stitching. This is just a simple straight line design, so there are no color changes. Anyway, so I want you to see how cute this is. Do you want to build a snowman? I added the lettering. This is the variegated thread, and he's so adorable. But on my 6th, after I finished my 6th So Fun presentation, I found out from one of the customers that this design is not complete. And I didn't even notice that. So when I looked at it, I'm like, what do you mean it's not complete? But anyway, if you back up, Carrie, sorry, and you look at this design, you can see that I am missing half of my design. But there's always something you can do to fix that, right? So he's really cute. So it says, do you want to build a snowman? So I am going to get another tea towel, and on the other side, I'm going to stitch the rest of the design, and I'm going to put on there, I do. So that this snowman is going to build and finish the rest of this snowman. I could, however, with my really nice, beautiful Brother machine, hoop it, scan it, line it up, and just put him in. But that's no fun. I have to make that, you know, I have to make my faux pas on purpose. So anyway, so that is our bird brain design, which was really fun to make. Let's see, what do we do next? Oh, quilt label fabric.
Okay.
This Andrea.
All right.
She's going to talk about quilt labels.
Quilt labels. Who doesn't love quilt labels? With my first couple of quilts that I made, my mom she reprimanded me, and she's like, you didn't put your quilt label on there. And so now that I'm in the quilting world, I know how important it is to make sure that I put my label on the quilt. So this is actually, it's 24 labels and designs. So this is a download onto your computer. And that's what I thought was really cool. There's 2 papers in here that are printable fabric inside. And then you have 24 different labels for all different occasions. Do you want to see some of them? I know you do. Carrie, come down here and I'll just put them on the table. I think that might be the easiest way to see them. Okay, so we've got ones. Is this upside down? It was upside down. You've got all kinds of different styles, designs. Nope, it was upside down in the first place. We'll figure this out. From my heart to yours, you've got some pinwheels and daisies. But while it's on the computer, you can actually type in, they're editable. So you can just type it all out and then print it out. And this is fusible choosable fabric that you print out of your printer. How more amazing can that be? Baby, the little buttons, there's different colors, different designs. Check these out. Aren't they so fun? When I was printing these out for the gals to show, I was like, oh, this is so cool. It totally fits any situation and any design that you would need. So, like I said, there's a set of two pieces of fabric, paper that print out already, and these are editable and they're on our list. This is something you definitely want to give or even get for a gift to someone. It's really, really fun. Okay, so those are our downloadable labels.
And next you're going to talk about the Rio top, correct?
Yes, I am. I am surely going to talk about the Rio top right here. Lily found her new favorite wardrobe piece. I think she made herself a wardrobe.
10
How
of
many
them.
did she make?
10.
She made 10. She's like, I just found some more fabric and I wanted to make some. And she's so cute. She actually, these are the tops that she made and she layers them. So she wears a t-shirt underneath and then layers it over top. But I wanted to talk about this. This is a local designer. She's from Idaho. We love supporting our local designers, don't we? So you can see there's a few different styles. This one is the shorter tank. This one is the longer tank here. And then this is the dress right here. It's really cute on. And some of them go with a high, low, or just straight across hem. So we're going to look at these back here. Was this her first one?
The other one.
This was her first one?
Yes. That was her first one.
Are you sure?
Well, I thought that's what you told me. So
I think this is her first one.
okay.
Because the other one has interesting things on it. Or this one has interesting things on it.
Oh.
Anyways, so if you've never sewn with a stretch fabric before, it's good to get like some cheapy knit that you don't super care about very much. You can see that she had to redo and try again and redo and try again.
Oh, okay.
But that's the cool thing about these sewing and learning, because once you get this down, it is so easy to make these. That's why she made 10. It's because this is like an hour project. Once you get the right length down, do you like the high-low hem? Do you like the hem straight across? Maybe you love it so much that you want to make a full dress. Well, that's what Lily did. So anyways, she was able to easily alter this one. This one was a little too wide for her. She felt like she had really narrow shoulders, and so it was easy to alter it. She just took the smaller size. She used a small for the top.
She did.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
She measured her shoulders and cut out the small, kind of set the small over the...
She went small to medium under the arms and then graded it out to a 2X.
2X. Okay, that's what I wasn't sure about exactly.
She wanted it roomy.
The roomy, the flowy of the very bottom of the hem. So she's able to do it small, medium, and then grade it out to the extra large. And that is super easy. You just go from one and you just kind of blend them out to the bigger size. Okay, so let's see some of these fun shirts that she made. This was a shorter one. This was the shirt length right here. It's got the high, low hem there. This was try number 2 that she totally loved and turned out perfect. This one really has the high, low hem here, as you can see on that one. And this is her dress that she made. This was also a high, low. And I wish you guys could have been there when she was presenting this. She's like, I know that these stripes go back and forth and that you're not supposed to do that when you're a certain size, but I don't care because I love this and I'm going to rock it. And she's just so cute. On this one, you can see that there's a seam down the middle in the back, and you need the wider width when you get into the dress size. So that when you get to the dress, it has the seam down the back right there. And I'll show you this last cute one. I love the flowers on this one. I think this is one of her most recent ones. And this one is actually a little bit wider because she also wanted to save fabric. And so instead of cutting both of them on a fold, she just cut it down the middle and made it look like her dress as well, which totally works. Makes it look like there's a special detail down the back of her tunic. So that is the Rio top and tunic from Great Copy. And now we're going to turn the time over to Pam, unless I need to talk about something else.
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Now we're going to turn the time back over to Pam.
Okay, last but not least, we are going to talk about this cute little robot quilt behind me. I actually had so much fun making this. This is going to be for my grandson, and he knows he's getting it. He actually helped me pick out these colors, except the background. I had to kind of sway him a little bit because his green was a little bit different choice. But he is 4. He's very opinionated, so I call him 4 going on 40. He knows what he wants. But this is a smaller version of the full-size quilt because this is going to ride in the car with him. You can make this quilt in a 69 by 85 or 48 by 48. But I made this with just the 4 to start with. And then I decided, well, I think it needs a little bit more. So he was my favorite anyway. This one in the middle is just my favorite. So I added that, and I think it just made a difference. My grandson's hair is this color, so we had to match. But this one, what I did when I prepped, just like any other quilt, you have to prep your fabric, get an idea of what's going where. I always carry or have a notebook by the side of my sewing machine. This one happens to be my favorite. I rescue fabric trapped in the quilt shop. I'm not a hoarder, I'm a hero. But what I do is I wrote down all the blocks. I had 5 blocks, and I set out my fabrics, and I took the time to write down what fabrics I was going to use. So it was a lot easier when I went to start cutting it out. I didn't have any guesswork. I just knew what I was going to do. So when I cut it out, I marked everything, and then I just took them all over to my sewing table, and it has you start by doing groupings. And so it reminded me of a jigsaw puzzle. So you do this grouping or you do this grouping, or so you're just putting all the pieces together. And then, you know, first of all, it's like when you're done with this one, it's like, oh, it's a face. But when you're all done, you sew all the groupings together and you get your robot. So it was, again, a lot of fun to make. So if you have a grandson or daughter who likes robots, and so many of them do, this was a really fun pattern to make. And it was not the only, I think the most time consuming thing was prepping deciding what fabric was going to go where and then cutting it out. The rest was just a breeze. To give you an idea of what I mean by that, I had finished this quilt. And the day before I was supposed to turn it in to Lily because she does her presentations first, I actually took it apart and had to make him and add him and then rebuild it, refinish it. So really it was, again, a day project. So I think most of the stuff that we brought is just day projects. So a lot of fun, but of course we have to have Minky on the back at Soft. His little brother will not be left out. He's getting one the same size with Lightning McQueen on it. So nice. Anyway, so that is what we have. Is that all? Is that what we have today? What do you have? Oh, well, I forgot to show you how I did something.
We both forgot to do our demos.
Yeah, we did.
So. Not over there. I was actually going to do a demo with the Rio tank and top. I was going to do Lily's demo. So if you'd like to follow me over to the serger over here to our Bernina.
Excuse me.
This is our brand new Bernina, and it is amazingly fabulous. I haven't had much opportunity to play with it, so you're going to play with it with me because it has some features that I had when I worked in what are those, in a factory, like a factory machine that I love, that I was always like, oh, I wish my sewing machine at home had these. So down at the pedal, hey, I found your magnetic clip.
Oh, good. I couldn't
Ah,
find it.
So this was a little magnetic clip that Pam had
Dropped.
dropped on the ground. So we'll put that there. Okay, on the foot pedal, when you put your foot forward, you just sew. But when you put your foot back, it puts the needle up and cuts the fabric or the thread. It's amazing. I love it. And look, this is amazing. I love that this serger has the little knee lift right there. It is so great. Oh, I'm a little too close there. Okay. So what Lily wanted to show you was that I made this little artificial neckline right here. And she wanted to show you how on earth do you get your little piece of fabric in here into this curved neck. How do you sew straight to curved on the serger? So I've got this beautiful fabric right here. I really wish that I could use it for myself. Oh, that's the back part. This is the front. This is the front. I'm going to put those two seams together right like so. And I'm just going to line that up right there. Can you see how it's straight for just that amount? We're just going to sew that much. And as we put it into the machine, we're going to actually start straightening this out. Now, when you do that, make sure, because this is, not only is it knit, you're going to be going onto the bias, and the bias, whether it's stretchy or not, is going to stretch right like that. So we're only going to be sewing just a little bit at a time. Let's take it over to the machine. Let's see if it'll stay for me. Okay, I'm going to lift it with my knee. I didn't have to reach back behind me. Wasn't that so amazing? We're going to get all three of those layers in the machine. Whoop, just like that. And this, you really want to make sure that this fabric just kind of keeps going up and around like that. And that this fabric is nice and straight right in front of you. This is very curly fabric too, so bear with me. Ah, come on. There we go. And I'm going to be aligning this up with that edge. So we've got this much. You can see how it's ruffling over on that side. It's totally okay. Oh, it's telling me I need to put my foot down. There we go. Okay. I kind of mangled it there. There we go. All right. Going to unroll that. And I'm going to adjust my fabric. See, it's nice and ruffly on this one side, but my curve is going straight. Keep going. Right like that. I'm not pulling that. We don't want that stretched out. We don't want our neckline to be stretched out. All right. Okay, roughly on that side, flat on this side. Yay. Now this is just a demonstration. This is not actual pattern pieces. This was just to show you like a curve and how you would put in. This might even be more like for a wrist, how big it is. It's definitely not how big you want it around your neck, unless you're going for some like super fashion. Okay, we're just gonna stitch that out there. And give it a little trim. And voila, you have your neckline. That is how you stitch the curved into a straight, or a straight into a curve. And then the most important part, see how it looks kind of wonky and all like not like homemade? The difference that takes you from a homemade look to a professional store-bought look is your iron. And my favorite iron is the Lara Star because the steam is amazing I never burn my fabrics. It feels like I could put anything underneath there, and I've just never used. I know I praise it all the time, but I have never used an iron like the Lara Star. So it's going to take your products from looking meh, homemade to ironing all the little wonky things down and looking beautiful. Okay, I think we're going to move it over to Pam. Would you like my chair, Pam?
Sure, that would be wonderful.
We'll move that over here.
Awesome, thank you.
If I don't take the tablecloth off with it.
So I am going to bring my bag back over here, and I want Carrie to do a close-up of that stitching again. So what you see here is these are two pieces of the fabric, the Craftex cork, butted up together, no seam allowance, and using what is called a joining stitch. There is a term in heirloom sewing that I'm sure a lot of you have heard. It's called fagoting, and that is this style of sewing. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. On my bag, I did a variegated stitch, or used a variegated thread. So what I want to show you, this machine doesn't have the same stitch on it, but I'm going to let me show you this foot real quick. This foot is actually a narrow edge foot for a foff. They're also called them edge joining feet. I can't remember what Bernina calls it, but on the bottom there is a flange, or in the middle, but it has a wider opening, so don't confuse it with your stitch in the ditch foot, because it is different. I actually use this foot a lot in quilting, believe it or not, because I can put this right on the edge of my binding and move my needle and have a perfectly straight stitch. So I am going to set my foot down in between. Now, what I want to say about a joining stitch, and the reason why you have this, is that you have a stitch that will go left, center, right, center, left, center, right, center. It always comes back to the center. Very different than a zigzag stitch that goes like this, which will shift. So we are going to get started. So I'm just going to hold them together on either side of that flange, and it's going to do its thing. And this is what you get. This is, like I said, this is not the same stitch. Whoops, it dropped a stitch. That I would use, but this one doesn't have the same stitch that I have in my machines. So anyway, that is a fun way of putting things together. You can do that, use this in crafts. You can use it in, making your bags. You can use it in garments. It's just a really fun type of sewing. So there you go. Thanks.
Fun. That was a really cool stitch. I actually like that. I think it would be fun for Halloween. Wouldn't that be fun to make it look like
skeleton,
Frankenstein,
right?
Or
you
skeleton.
Like stitches, exactly.
We have one more thing to do before we close up today. So why don't you follow me around this way, Carrie? Because you ladies have been such, and gentlemen, everybody that's on the show today, you have been such great listeners. Have we had any questions, Alyssa? About anything? The foam? Oh, yes. This is such a popular item that we usually keep some on hand. So you can go online. It's available today. Even for the next week. Oh, I forgot to say that. All of these items are 20% off online until next Thursday. So you have a whole week to keep shopping online and to look. But we have 2 prizes to give away. Are you guys so excited? So our first person is Linda Hooper. So go on to and private message us on Facebook and let us know what store is good for you. If you're out of town or out of the state, because we've had people checking in from all over the world before. So if you're out of state, let us know where we can send it to you. Or if you're local and you have a store, let us know what store we can send it to.
I do believe Linda Hooper is a customer of this store.
Is she?
Yes.
You know what, Linda?
Congratulations, Linda.
Today, you won a jelly roll, and it's not just any jelly roll. It's our 50 Shades of Gray jelly roll. Isn't that exciting? Okay, congratulations, Linda Hooper. Our next winner is Jean Brooks. Is it Jeannie or Jean? Jean? I'm not sure how you say it. I'm sorry if I'm mutilating your name. Jeannie or Jean Brooks. You get our new fall pack. It's a little 3-pack, and it's flannel. How fun. It's our little autumn mix. So that is yours, Jeannie Brooks and Linda Hooper. Thanks for tuning in today. We hope that you'll join us next month for the month of August, and we will talk with you very soon. Come here, Pam. Since this is Pam's absolutely last
they've heard this
show
before.
for now, wave her a good goodbye and tell her thanks, and we'll talk to you again soon.